We are now into hour number 2. Putin sets sights on Eurasian Economic Union. We have the White House putting out a new Homeland Security video hyping that white Al-Qaeda is basically everywhere and is about to get you any minute. Obama warns the Tea Party is holding back the recovery. Really? Really? I thought it was globalism and the deindustrialization of this country that had caused our standard of living to drop. But no, it's the Tea Party that runs absolutely nothing, but is criticizing the real problem, the Federal Reserve. I just can't get over how big it is that now Newt Gingrich, Michelle Bachmann, Rick Perry are all attacking the Federal Reserve and calling it treacherous and almost treasonous and all the rest of it in their desperate bid to become Ron Paul. I want to take your phone calls, but I do want to ask listeners to get this report out to everyone they know. And I've got a few points I'm going to get Paul Watson to add to the article. It's Big Sis' latest PSA, Big Sis' latest terrorist, more white Americans. And that's, again, up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. So important to get out to everyone you know. Right now, let's go to Michelle in Florida. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for taking my call. I was wanting to find out if anybody else, the viewers, last week on the debate, I watched it, and of course I thought Ron Paul did excellent. Well, I couldn't sleep that night. About 2:30 that morning, I went on Fox News to see how he was doing, because they had a poll saying, you know, who do you think won the debate? So I, of course, voted for Ron Paul, and it showed that he had over 68% of the votes, and everybody else were in single digits. So I finally went to sleep thinking, you know, well, this will show him. And I got up the next morning. They didn't mention him on TV.
Yeah,
so I went
they had
back
30,000 votes and change. We posted the numbers, and he won 16,000 plus, more than half. And Fox pulled the poll. Even Politico reported on that. Fox pulled the poll. And L.A. Times also reported on it. So did the San Francisco Chronicle. Fox pulled the poll and did not report on their own poll because he got more than all the other candidates combined. They didn't like that.
It made me so mad. I emailed every single person on that show and told them, you know, you claim to be fair and balanced, and I wrote shame on you to all of them. But
well, see,
anyway.
Again, they're the fake conservative opposition meant to control and steer real constitutionalistic conservatives, libertarians. And so that's why they've said Ron Paul can't win. He's nothing. Oops, he keeps winning the polls. Oops, he got more votes than everybody else combined. Oops, everybody was giving him standing ovations. Oops, he lost by, you know, less than 1% against Bachmann, even though she bought 90+% of her votes at the straw poll. She bought 4,000. She got 4,600 and something votes. She bought 4,000. Let's say it again. She bought 4,000 plus votes. She got less than 6,600 total that were actually hers. Ron Paul won that, too. He's winning everything. He's the front runner. They're completely freaked out. They're pulling out all the stops, but it blew up in their face.
That's
and
what
now,
I was saying, because it's backfiring, because the people who really didn't maybe not know who Ron Paul was see that he's being slighted, so then now they're going to look him up and find out, well, who is he and what does he represent? So, you know, what they're meaning for evil, God's turning to good, in my opinion. So
absolutely. And even if they steal the election, steal the primaries, and Ron Paul doesn't win, he's going to be there for the next year injecting real issues into the debate and the campaign and building the awakening and the solidarity. We're the majority. Look at how he's winning. That's an illustration of that. But this helps us come together and lets us know our power. That's why I challenged him here on air and behind the scenes. Both times he's run for president in the last 4 years. I said, Ron, you've got to run because regardless, you're going to have a bully pulpit. And he said, you're right. And, of course, I knew he was going to run long before he announced it, but I never tell tales until they're public. We'll be right back. Okay, we're going to continue with your calls here in a moment. The toll-free number to join us today on this live Wednesday edition is 800-259-9231. If you just joined us, the Homeland Security Department has put out another video. If there was any doubt that they are selling the new terrorist brand as white people and as Tea Party members, it is all over. We've seen the vice president, other big Democrats come out and say the Tea Party are terrorists. They're going to get violent. We've seen Chris Matthews now suddenly pushing it ad nauseum and putting out special TV reports like The Rise of the New Right, where he implies that myself and Ron Paul basically want violence with no evidence. We have seen countless other corporate media productions pushing this. We have seen now these Homeland Security training videos and the training manuals that federal marshals, state police, and others have sent us, where behind the scenes, the entire threat that they're training the police and military for is gun owners, returning veterans, conservatives, libertarians, people that want to audit the private Federal Reserve, people that want to get rid of the Federal Reserve System, because we are the real opposition. And so they don't want Hispanics, blacks, and others feeling like they're Americans and they're part of sovereignty. So they brand it that it's a white thing to be against the Federal Reserve. It's a white thing to want to be in the Tea Party. And not only is it a whitey thing, it's a terrorist thing. And now they have a new video out. It's posted at Infowars.com in the article by Paul Joseph Watson. And you also see Obama coming out now and saying that, again, his main threat is a lone terrorist, telling Wolf Blitzer that last night. You can see that the branding is going into high gear. And if you go to Infowars.com, and if you put it back on screen, I'll read it to folks. Thank you. Big Sis, latest terrorist, more white Americans. This is such a big deal. This is so huge. If you were doubting my predictions of years ago, if you were doubting my predictions of months ago, if you were doubting that this is going to happen, they are definitely going to stage terror attacks or provocateur terror attacks by funding mentally ill people, bare minimum, as a pretext to demonize anyone that criticizes the private Federal Reserve. And if I had to guess a target they'll hit, like I did before 9/11, saying they'll probably blow up the World Trade Center complex and blame it on their asset bin Laden, if I had to pick a target, it would be something like the Federal Reserve, but a Federal Reserve that has a daycare in it. The globalists, the bankers will want to bomb kids, and then they'll have photographers when the firemen run out with bleeding children to get those photos. Just like Operation Gladio in Europe, where the U.S. government with NATO admittedly staged more than 200 bombings in Germany, Italy, you name it, to blame it on their political opposition. A true left-wing movement was rising in Europe in the 70s and 80s, so they had to stage terror attacks, blowing up school buses and other things to blame it on them. When right-wing groups that aren't controlled by the bankers start rising, they'll stage attacks and blame it on them. This is the oldest trick in the book, problem, reaction, solution. And so we've got to get this new report out, because they put out a whole group of videos a month ago where every terrorist is a white person. Every person that reports them is a, quote, minority with dark skin. The new video, it is the same story. They see a white terrorist and the black police are called in to stop them. So this is absolutely incredible, and it only confirms that that the train left the station and it's about to arrive at its destination, false flag terror, to fully flip what's already been flipped behind the scenes from Al-Qaeda Muslim threat to the domestic threat. And you see Obama saying it's now a domestic threat. It's a lone wolf. And they're also going to stage some attacks that are Muslim as well. And then brand the two together to make them synonymous with one another. I've tried to warn people as best I can. People do know about false flag terror, inside job now, self-inflicted wound, staged frame-ups. But we've really got to get the word out to an even greater level now so people are watchful of it. If you see something, say something. But you've got to say it to the media. You've got to say it yourself. You've got to say it on YouTube. You've got to say it in a place where you can't be censored. If you see the feds doing suspicious things, or you see contractors doing suspicious things, if you actually call the local threat fusion center, they're not going to respond. Just like the feds ran a drill the week of 9/11 with Tripod 2 as the cover of what they were doing. And then that drill came out, and the mayor first said, yes, we had a drill, then later said, no, we didn't have a drill. And then it turned out he had been lying. He was part of the drill of the World Trade Centers being blown up. That's right, a drill of the World Trade Centers being blown up, being destroyed the day it happened. That's so if good cops or good FBI catch the contractors in there getting ready to blow it. Oh, it's part of the drill. What happened when the FSB got caught in 1999 planting bombs in a 4th apartment building? 3 had been blown up in the suburbs of Moscow to blame it on the Chechens. What did the FSB then report? The FSB said, oh, we were just running a drill when they got caught in there planting the bombs. Local police caught them, and they said it's just a drill, even though the hexagen explosives were real. That's why they run the drills. They fund the terror attack through the drill. They bootleg it. Then if they get caught, or if NSA systems pick up chatter, then they say, oh, that's only part of the drill. Also, the overall chatter is a smokescreen so that other agencies can't discover what's happened. All right, I said I'd go to your calls, and I'm ranting here. I want to get into Ron Paul, though, before I go to your calls. Here are the headlines. Perry apes Ron Paul in attack on Fed cartel. Here's another one out of Reuters. White House denounces Perry as Republicans target Fed. Newt Gingrich, Bachmann, Perry, all now trying to become Ron Paul while simultaneously attacking him. Because he has never compromised. He's always voted as he said he would vote. He's always voted for the Constitution. He really will try to get rid of the Federal Reserve. He will try to restore sound money and take the money power back under Congress, not the private Federal Reserve. So he is anathema to them. He is cyanide to these devils. Continuing. Rolling Stone, Rick Perry versus Ben Bernanke, round 1. So they're really hyping this up. Bachmann also takes aim at Federal Reserve. Michelle Bachmann took aim at the Federal Reserve Tuesday after rival candidate Rick Perry caused a storm with his fierce criticism of Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke. I've been fighting on that issue since I came to Congress, Bachmann told reporters after a stump speech to about 300 people at a drive-in restaurant in South Carolina. The Federal Reserve is not subject to transparency. The Federal Reserve has made terrible, grievous errors. No, they've helped consolidate power for the mega banks. They've done a great job. The government doesn't screw up when they get caught shipping cocaine in or guns into Mexico. They're doing what they're told. That's why they get rewarded and promoted. But if you expose the government drug dealing, you get shot in the face like Serpico, or you get demoted. She said criticizing the central bank's quantitative easing programs of buying government bonds to lower interest rates and boost the economy. And she goes on to criticize the Federal Reserve. So the point is, Ron Paul is dominating, as the AP had to admit on Monday, that he's now dominating the debate and is the front runner in the Republican field of 8 different people. He is dominating. He is winning. The straw polls are coming in second. He is winning. The scientific polls are coming in second. He's winning, winning, winning. So what do they tell you? He can't win. He can't win. He's a kook. He's too old. On and on and on and on and on. Like you're an idiot. Like you're a moron. Like you'll just go with whatever they say. That if they say you can't vote for him, that you won't. They're creating a false, self-fulfilling prophecy, treating you like you're a low-grade idiot.